Does the Church teach that ghosts exist? If one means, do angels and human spirits exist, the short answer is definitely yes. The modern word ghost traces back to the Old English word gast, meaning breath, a synonym for spirit. In fact, ancient Hebrew, Greek, and Latin all contained various words referring to the Spirit of God and also to the spiritual nature of angels and human beings, most of which meant breath or wind. The Church teaches that the spiritual soul of a human being is immortal and can continue to exist even after bodily death. But when the question of ghosts arises, it usually concerns whether departed human spirits can actually manifest to those on Earth. Although natural causes, delusions, and hoaxes certainly could explain many reports of apparitions and strange disturbances, universal human experience and the Bible reveal that it is possible for a spirit to appear on Earth, even if rare, so long as it is God's will. In the Old Testament, the spirit of the prophet Samuel appears to King Saul and predicts the king's downfall in battle. The prophet Sirach confirms that the apparition was the real Samuel. And in 2 Maccabees 15, Judas Maccabeus tells of a vision in which the spirits of the prophet Jeremiah and high priest Onias appeared to him and prayed for Israel. In the New Testament, the apostles are shocked to see Jesus walking on the water, who they at first take to be a ghost. The Greek word used is phantasma, and it can mean the apparition of a specter or the appearance of something unreal. Later, when the risen Christ appears to his frightened disciples in the locked upper room, he encourages them to touch his body to see that he is real flesh and blood, and not simply a ghost. The Greek word used is pneuma, which can apply to angels or human spirits. But can departed souls appear on their own will on Earth and haunt or hang around an area or a person? Many saintly doctors of the Church argued yes, with some qualifications. Saint Jerome, arguing against Vigilantius, believed that the righteous in heaven could indeed appear when they wanted to, so long as it satisfied the divine will. He states, "Would you put the apostles in chains, imprison them until the day of judgment? Since the devil and demons wander throughout the whole world, and are everywhere present with wondrous speed, why should the martyrs, after shedding their blood, be imprisoned and unable to go forth?" Pope St. Gregory the Great, in Book 4 of his Dialogues, also related many cases of the deceased in purgatory having appeared to the living. But St. Thomas Aquinas elaborated on the subject at the most length. He states, "Therefore it's absurd to say that the souls of the departed do not leave their abode. Of those in heaven, he says, separated souls sometimes come forth from their abode and appear to men," and he relates Augustine's story of a martyr named Felix who appeared to the people of Nola when they were attacked by barbarians. Of those in hell, he states, "It's also credible that this may occur sometimes to the damned, and that for man's instruction and intimidation they be permitted to appear to the living." In other words, God allows even the damned to appear, against their will or not, if it will encourage the living to avoid the reality of hell. A future pope, scholar Benedict XIV, also confirmed this view in the third volume of his treatise Heroic Virtue, a seminal text for the canonization of saints, published in 1765. The souls of the dead, although of the damned, when by the permission of God they appear to the living, assume that form by which they are known. Aquinas also stated that human spirits undergoing final purification before the glory of heaven also sometimes reach out for prayers from the living, to seek our suffrages, as to those who are detained in purgatory, as evidenced by many instances related in the fourth book of the Dialogues. According to Aquinas' friend, Dominican Bernard Gui, Thomas himself experienced such apparitions from purgatory. In one instance, Thomas's deceased sister appeared to him asking for prayers, and then appeared to him again once she was ready to move beyond purgatory. At another time, a friend, Brother Romanus, appeared to Thomas to inform him that he had indeed died and was undergoing a journey through purgatory. Christians should never rely on occult practices to seek out information from the dead, such as consulting mediums or conjuring spirits, because this bypasses God's help and risks demonic interference. But scripture and tradition do show that throughout history God does at times permit souls to appear if it contributes in some way to a person's salvation. If one does have a genuine encounter with the spiritual realm, it's best to follow the counsel of St. John and test the spirits to see if they are of God and acknowledge Christ. The safest practice is to rely on those in heaven for prayers and assist those in purgatory with our own petitions to God.